All right. Genesis 2 and 17. Are you learning a little bit? Genesis 2:17. Now, go back in your deal there, right at the front of it. We're going to read the Hebrew alphabet again.
Hey, you're saying that when you used to do this, Aleph or whatever, that's the official word for the letter A, or the sound A, right? Or
actually, it is an Aleph. It's like an A, but it isn't like an A. An Aleph will have something underneath it also. There's an Aleph, okay? It'll have something like this. It'll have something like this. So I don't have anything. That's the way you make it sound. Now, I don't point Hebrew when I put it up on the board. Okay? I don't point it at all. I don't put the vowels in. I just put the consonants. These are all consonants. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 consonants. Actually, you could say it's 22 because the sin and the shin look alike. Okay? But there's finals in this also. There's the ones in the beginning and ones in the final. Now, if you look down here on this, there's Aleph, and then they've got two bays there, Faith and Bet. All right? Now, we don't do that in biblical Hebrew. This is modern Hebrew, okay? That's two different bays, all right? And then you'll see down 2 or 3 different things in different ones. They're the same letter, but you've got finals, okay? Yes.
So you never say the sounds, you never sound the name that we're reading off here. That's the official name of that letter.
That's the name of that
letter. But the sound that the letter makes would be like something like ah, be, right?
Yeah. If I get some rights, it might look better. Maybe. Anyway, Aleph. Aleph is this. Okay, that's the first one down there that you see. Aleph. All right? And
what does that have to do with ox?
what?
Oh, yeah. Why is it ox?
Ox.
Why does it have a name like ox, house, camel?
Oh, that's the symbol for it. That's the original symbol. Okay. Aleph. That was like a cow's horns, an ox's horns.
Oh, that's a nickname for it?
Yeah, that was the original name for it. That's what it looked like. Okay, to them, that's what it looked like, remember? Aleph and Bet. And remember, Aleph and Bet, what is that sound? Aleph and Bet.
Father
of the house. Boy, you got a good memory, Mike.
Yesterday on TV.
Good. I tell you.
Yesterday on TV, I saw a thing that said, Ben Salem, some country somewhere. That means son of peace
Ben.
or something.
Ben.
Somewhere over there.
Yeah. See, when you start learning these things are going to start meaning something. The first 2 letters in the Hebrew alphabet is Aleph and Bet. Okay? Now they'll say Bah, Bet, or whatever, but just say Aleph and Bet. Okay? That's biblical Hebrew. Okay? That's what every biblical grammar is going to tell you that.
And that's what babies say their first sound, like Abba,
yeah, Abba. When the Hebrews said, when the babies were, the first words they said, Abba, Abba, like they're calling for father. Abba. Okay? Abba. Okay, we have Aleph and Bet, father of the house. Okay? Aleph is the ox sound, and then Bet is the house. Remember that? That's the house. And then Gamel, what was that? Camel. All right. Just kind of remember those little things. And Dalet. 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 Okay, that's door. And then Hay. Window. Okay. Ba. Or Wa. Either which way you want to say it. Modern Hebrew is Ba. Biblical Hebrew is Wa. And then Zion. Het.
What is that? Heth?
Het. Het is a fence.
How do you spell that?
Het. H-E-T-H.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell.
Okay. And then Teth. That's the thing that looks like a what? Teth looks like a what?
Snake.
Hey,
Hebrew.
like a snake. That's what it looks like. Teth. Snake. Okay?
Yeah. They have different looking snakes over there that they got here.
Huh?
Different looking snakes over there that they got here.
It kind of looks like it's coiled, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a test. All
He's
right.
got arthritis.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's got arthritis. Yeah, I know all about that. Okay, test. And then yod. Yod is like a what? Hand. All right, yod. Look down there. This is what looks like a hand. All right. And then cough. And actually, they've got 3 coughs down there, which is only actually 2. You got one of them's got a hard sound, and then they got the final. All right, cough. And then lament. And then lament looks like what? A whip. Okay, lament is a whip, and it would be the English L, wouldn't it? All right. And let's go on a little further. Maim. None. Somic. Ayin. Pay. Sati. Kof. Resh. Sin. Shin. Tav. All right. That's the deal. And of course, now all of those mean something. I didn't give it to you all today.
Why is there 3 towels?
3 what?
Towels. The last one, cross,
Now, 3 towels.
instead of 2. Yeah, there's 3 in your paper here. 1, 2,
On your
3.
paper, there's 3.
On my paper, there's
Yeah.
3. Well, maybe I just put 3 of them down there.
Make it sure. Don't make
Oh.
about that.
That I was just practicing.
Okay. You like
That's
thought
it.
so much?
That doesn't mean anything. All right, that was just
That's
practicing.
where everything from.
All right, towel. Towel is just towel. It is one, and I told you the towel, I try to make the towel look like this, okay? And there's 2 towels, really, according to this thing down there, which I don't really agree with, and there's one like this without the hard sound and one with it. But don't worry about it. One's a TH sound, the other one's a T sound, okay? Don't even worry about that. All right, now let's start looking at some things, okay? Let's look at some words. And the Bible part of it, that's the good part. I used to hate to teach Greek grammar and hate to teach Hebrew grammar. It's a slow death. It's like dragging. Just wears you plumb out, okay? I mean, you do learn things in it, and I have done this. I haven't done it for 30, I haven't taught Greek or Hebrew grammar in 30 years. And I can't even remember all the names of the vowels. I know how to say every one of them, but I can't remember what they were. Had a couple of strokes since then, but I can read it, you know. And then the Greek, I haven't taught Greek grammar for 30 years probably in school. But I do teach it as we go by it a little bit when I'm teaching Greek. All right. 2 in verse 17 now. 2 verse 17. You met S. All right? You met S. Try to say that now with me. You met S. Had da'at. Tov. Bara. Lo. Takol. Mem. Menu.
Is that from her?
Yeah, from her, mem, menu. All right, from her. Okay, mem, menu. Ki. Biom. Achalicha. All right, and then Memenehu. Both. Tamot. Both. Tamot. Both Tamot. Koleka Memenehu Mot Tamot. I'll read it for you fast. Yume'etz Ha Da'at Tov Bara Lo Takol Memenehu Ki Biyom Kalita Memenehu Mot Tamot. All right, that's the way you do it. Simpler. And you could, that's even like modern Hebrew, okay? Reading it like that. It's not a whole lot of difference, but there's a little. All right? Umas. Umas. And that's what the first thing starts. That's and. That little U there, U. It's a little sign like this. See this? That's and. All right? That's and. And, meh. This word meh here, that little meh, that's from. Okay? And then S. Umas. Now, I entitled this one, The Tree of Death. Okay? The Tree of Death. This is the Tree of Death. Umas. And then we have the word S. Like that. All right? S. 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 Like that cute little thing. Umas. And from tree, had da'at. Had da'at. The knowing. All right? Ha, that is ha. And then da'at, that's the knowing. All right? This is the tree of knowing. Tov. Look at that word tov there. The word knowing in Greek is what? What's the word knowing in Greek? This word is adopt here, but what's the one for knowing in Greek? We get our word knowledge from. Skenosko. Gnosko. Or nosko. All right. So we got our word knowledge from. And then we have the word tov. Tov means spiritual good. All of that, page 374 in Brown Driver Briggs, by the way. And what is the Greek equivalent of tov? Anybody remember? Remember that, Randall? Anybody? Spiritual good is kalos. 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 Okay? And the ara. Okay, the ara. And evil.
Vivara.
Vara. And evil. Good and evil. Page 949. Now the word equivalent to evil in Greek would be what? Oneros. Oneros. All right? That's the word there. And then we have the word low. Now that's pretty easy. Low. Can you say low? Low. And that means not. Okay, that means not. Low. Okay? This low. Okay? Low. And that's not. And in Greek, it would be that. May. Okay? Low and may. And not, he says here, not talk of. Ye shall eat, or ye shall keep on eating. Ye shall keep on not eating this tree. Do not eat it and do not eat it. Do not keep on being not eating it, okay? And then from her, Memenehu, okay, Memenehu, or Memenu. From her, the tree of knowledge, okay? And the tree of knowledge is also the tree of death. When they partook of that tree of death, they would begin the process of dying, okay? Now, do you think that Adam and Eve would have learned everything that God wanted them to learn in the beginning anyway? Yeah. God wasn't keeping anything from them, was he? He just wanted them to, there was one thing that they were not supposed to do. There was one negative in the garden. There was a whole bunch do this, but there was one negative, and Eve wanted to have the negative. She wanted that one tree that she was supposed to not keep on not eating from her. And then we have the word key there. Key. That word key is because. Okay? That's because. And then biyom. What's the word for Hebrew for day? Yom. Yom. All right? And biyom. What does biyom mean? Biyom. In the day. All right? In the day. Biyom in day. In the very day. During that day. All right? Achalika. You're eating. All right? You're to eat from her. Akalika from her. Memenehu. All right? Moat. Moat. Moat is dying. All right? And that's cal infinitive, to die. To be in the process of dying. In the very day that you eat from that cake, dying, moat, to die. You begin the process of dying, and then it says, moat to moat. Dying, you shall keep on dying. Cal, imperfect, second person masculine singular. In the day that you eat from this tree, the tree of death, you shall begin the process of dying, and you shall keep on dying until it kills you. How long did Adam live? Do you remember? Somewhere around 930 years, if I remember right. About 930 years, 950, I can't remember now. He lived a long time, didn't he? You ever never known anybody 900 years old? Besides Adam? We get to know Adam in the Bible, don't we? All right. Have you ever? How many people you ever known that's 100 years old? Yeah, a few people, not very many. That's 1/9 as much as Adam lived. But in the end, your Aunt Silence lived to be what?
104.
104 years old. But she's dead today, isn't she? She's dead.
Yeah.
Just dead. She's gone. Period. That's it. For 104 years, she wasn't dead. But she was in the process of dying for 104 years. Your dad is going to, David, your dad is going to be how old this?
She's 90.
90 years old. Oh, I really enjoy having him in the class when he's here. It's good to have some older people. I really like older people. Now I am one, you know. I know but I loved older people when I was little. I used to go listen to my great-grandmother, Hattie, St. Paul's daughter, and listen to all the stories that she told me. And I was the only one out of the whole family. And Bill, the one that was here, he was the only one that his grandfather talked to. And his grandfather was my great-grandmother's nephew. That's how far they went back. That was her nephew. He was the only one that he talked to and told him all the stories, and I was the only one that would listen. Old people like for you to listen to them. All right? Like for you to listen to them. But you know, things change, don't they? Things change over a period of time. I remember seeing an airplane was something really neat. Remember that? Remember how when you were young? Well, now, Randall, you can't get in on this. Not old enough. Rex, you remember every now and then seeing an airplane?
Yeah.
Everything stopped when the airplane came over, didn't it? Now you just look up in the sky and you can't hardly look in the sky without you seeing an airplane.
Jim?
Yes.
When I first knew there was airplanes, I'd always run and hide because it was World War II.
Yeah.
And that's what my thought was, you know.
That they were going to bomb
They
you.
were going to get bombed.
Oh. Beginning the process of dying. My great-grandmother saw the very first airplanes that there was, and she saw jet airplanes. She died in 1965. She saw from horses to 100-mile-an-hour cars going down the freeway, you know, on different. That's quite a difference, you know, from horses. I got pictures of her standing beside Model Ts and all that kind of stuff. And she lived to be 80-something years old, but they died. And we look at all this stuff, they begin the process of dying. Adam, when he took of the knowledge of death, of the tree of death, he began the process of dying. Dying, you shall keep on dying until it finally gets you. That's what it says here. That's the tree of death. Okay? 2:18 now. Vayomer. Can you say that? Vayomer. That word you're going to run into a lot. Vayomer. And then here we have the next word that's very important. Hashem. Ha-Davar. Adonai. What would this equivalent of this in the New Testament be? What would this? The Jehovah Elohim. What would be the equivalent in the New Testament? In Greek.
Lord.
What?
Lord.
Kyrios.
Curious.
Kyrios. In the Septuagint, where it comes to the name Jehovah, they will have Kyrios in there. And what was the Jesus addressed by his disciples? They called him Kyrios, Master or Lord. Jehovah. All right? Jehovah Elohim. All right? And then Lo, Tov, Hayot, Ha-Adam, Vi, Le, Va, Dom. Levadov, that is. Esel, Lo, Ezer, Kenegdor. That's these words. Mike, you're eating this stuff up.
I don't even look at the Greek. I'm trying to write down.
All right, you're eating it up. And he said,
all
all right, third person masculine singular, cow and perfect. And he kept on saying Jehovah. Jehovah continued to say. All right, he continued. He kept on saying. All right, because that's in the verse. Vayomer, that means he kept on saying. All right, while consecutive and perfect. He kept on saying Jehovah Elohim. All right, that's the word there. That's the word that none of the Hebrews ever said. That word Jehovah, Adonai, is how they say it today. And it says not, lo, tov, not good. Here is where man got in trouble. Right here. Old Bill was here. He'd be squalling and squealing about this. Not good to become, look at that. Cal infinitive construct, that comes from Haya, to become the man. To his separation. All right? To be alone. By himself. Now, he had all kinds of animals in the world, didn't he? He was going to have all these animals. Now, he's going to create all these animals. They're going to come to him. He's going to name all of them, all right? It's not good for man to be alone. What happens to people in rest homes? When they don't have anybody to come to, they don't have any company or anything. They waste away, and they pretty soon they just go off and just start dreaming until they dream and are gone. Right? That's what happens. Not good for man to be alone. Man is meant for company. God, even God, God is independent of all things, isn't he? But God chose not to be alone, didn't he? He chose not to be alone. And so there's something in man's makeup that makes him not want to be alone. How would you like to be 80 years old and alone? Without anybody, no friends, no nothing. Being in solitary confinement in prisons. That's one of the terrible things, solitary confinement, where you can't see or talk to anybody. Solitary confinement. Some of those prisons made friends with cockroaches and ants and flies. Have you ever heard of that? They did. They did. Solitary confinement. They had to have something to talk to, so they talked to an ant or a fly or a cockroach, whatever, and made friends with it. That's their friend. Okay? Man, there's something in man that wants to communicate. All right? He says it's not good for him to be separated from everything else. And then it said, and I shall make, lo, for him, a helper, assistant. All right? That comes with the word azar. All right? Kenegdo. All right? To be his counterpart. To be his footprint. To correspond to him. To stand up against him. Okay? Face to face, hand to hand, foot to foot. All right? Something, when you stand out in the sunshine, what falls on the ground? Your shadow. It said when God made man, he made man in his what kind of image? His shadow casting likeness. Here is that. So God is going to make Eve look like man. She's going to have 2 eyes. She's going to have 1 mouth, even though sometimes I think it's more than that. 2 ears, 2 feet, 2 hands, 5 fingers on each hand, 5 toes on each foot. Okay, she's going to she's going to correspond to Adam. Okay, but Double trouble, huh? All right. Do you think Adam had 4 ears and 4 eyes and 2 mouths before this? What was he like? Because we're going to see what happens here. We're going to see how God divided him. All right? First of all, now God made Adam, okay? Now he's going to make animals. Now he's going to have pets. How many of you have pets? Anybody have pets? Pet fly? Pet cockroach? Pet mouse?
I have a pet.
All right, you got a pet.
I
Okay.
can't do without my dog.
All right. Dog. A cat. My daughter has a fish. She had 3 fish. 2 of them died. She still has 1 blind fish now. He's old. 11-year-old goldfish. She's had a mouse. She had a rabbit. Yesterday I went outside and one of my wife's pet doves was out there on the fence. That little dove, it's a turtle dove, you know, the ones they used to sacrifice. We got 2 turtle doves there. And that turtle dove, somebody had gone by and opened up the cage. I don't know what happened, and the door blew open. And that dove was out, and it was sitting cooing at me, sitting on the fence right there. I've got 10 cats, people, and they eat birds. I went out there, and I saw this dove sitting right there, and that dove just sat there looking at me, just cooing up a storm, because it's the one that coos so much. I walked over there real slowly, and I just walked up to it like this. It wasn't afraid, and I said, boy, this is going to be one of our doves. And I reached up there, and I just got it like this in my hand, took it over there, and I saw that the door was open. I started looking inside, and the other one was in there, and so I put him in there, and he was happy to be home. I wonder he wasn't cat food. But I put him up there. He's a pet, and they love for you to pet him. You can just pet those 2 doves. The other ones don't like you to pet them, but those doves like for you to pet them. And so I put him back in there, and he's real happy again. Now, pets. My pet pig, she's doing real good. Like the crow told me, but she's doing real good right now. I mean, I don't know how long she's got, but these are all pets. Your pets communicate with you. You got pets? No?
Not now.
Not that's all I could do. Pets. Yeah. Pets. Pets communicate. Now let's see what happened here. Okay? Vayitza. Vayitza. Vayitzer. Can you say that? Vayitzer. All right.
Where are we on 19?
Yeah, we're on 19. Vayitzer.
Vayitzer.
Ha. Well, let's just put here Jehovah. Elohim. Men. Ha Adamah. Kal. Chayat. Hasadeh. Ve'et. Kol. O. Hashemayim. All right. By Yahweh. El. Ha'adam. Berut. Berut. And then Ma. Yikra. Lo. Bikol. Asher. Yikra. Lo. Ha'adam. Nefesh. Chaya. Hu. Shimo. All right. It's a long verse. And he formed. Jehovah Elohim. All right. And he formed. He molded. Okay. He molded. And then we have Kyrios Hotheos. Just like you address Jesus in the New Testament, Kyrios Hotheos. The Lord the God. Okay. The Lord the God. And then we have the word men. All right. You look that one up on, there's about 15 pages for this word, man, right here. From the same elements as, closely related to. That's what all this word means, and it also means from sometimes. Okay? But I believe here it means from the same elements as or closely related to. What are all the animals and atoms closely related to? What happened to my water? You know what happened to my water? Did you take off with it? No.
I think it's sitting over here by the thing.
Okay. All right, man. From the same elements as are closely related to Ha-Adamah. What's Ha-Adamah? Remember, Adam is man, Dam is blood, and Ha-Adamah is what? The dirt, the ground.
Will you show me where you're at?
Okay. Where's the lid?
Out there? You want it?
All right, we're on the first page. All right. All right. And Jehovah as Ha-Adamah, 219a.
Oh,
219a
second.
from
First word on the.
Ha-Adamah. All right. The man. All right. From the ground. All right. And then we're going to be over right there. That's where it is. Okay. Just follow right along there. And he formed Jehovah Elohim as the ground. Or from the ground, or as from closely related to the ground. All right? Man and the animals are all related. God is going to redeem the whole earth, the whole universe back to himself, John 3:16. All right? The ground. Call is what? Look at that word call there. Call. Call is what? Call is all. All right? Call is all. Every wing flapper. That's the word oath right there. Wing flapper. Oath. Wing flapper. Every bird. Everything that flaps its wings. Okay? And then of the heavens. Hashemayim. All right? Hashemayim.
Oh, where's the of the in there?
Oath. Oath.
Oh, Hashemayim.
Oath. Oath is a
Oath.
bird. That's a wing flapper.
Oh, that's wing.
Wombly. Okay? All right. The wing flapper of the heavens. Hashemayim. All right? Hashemayim.
Of
Of the
the
heavens. All right?
of the is not written in there, is it?
No,
You just
no,
got
it's
wing
there.
flapper and
We just
heavens.
have, of is what you call a practical substantive that's understood.
Okay.
Every wing flapper, the heavens, is what it literally says, but we have to put in of in there. Every wing flapper of the heavens. Now the next page. All right, over at the top of the next page. Okay? Vayova. All right? Vayava. Calls to come, El, unto, El is unto Ha-Adam. See that word there? Ha-Adam, the man, the mankind. The man. This is Adam, okay? Adam. And then it says, Lerot. To see. Remember the word Jireh in Jehovah Jireh? Jehovah Jireh means what? Literally, the Lord was seen. It also says the Lord shall provide or see to it. This is what that word comes from. Lerot. All right? To see what he will call Yikra. To, this is when God lets Adam name all the animals. Okay? He's naming all the animals now. To and all be called, and all which, Asher, Yikra, that he might call him. All right? Every one of them that he might call him. All these little boys, he's going to call them names. He's going to call the horses, horses. He's going to call the sheep, sheep, and the cows, cows, and the doves, doves, and the fish, fish. Okay? Now, they've all come to him. How many of you ever seen pet fish? Fish can even have brains, you know, they really do. They'll come. I had the fish one time that when I'd walk in the house, he'd stick his head out of the water looking at me like this. I called him Spot. And that fountain that I've got out in the backyard, right in my backyard there by the patio, he was in that fountain. This is a long time ago. This is 30-something years ago. He'd stick his head up out of the water, want me to come and touch him on the head, and I'd give him a little food. Even fish think, and they know you when they see you. I had one I called Oscar one time. He was an Oscar fish. Boy, when I walked in the in the house, if I didn't go over there to see Oscar, he'd start flopping all over that fish boat. He wanted me to come and see him. Fish. All right? Now, he named all these animals, and he was communing with these animals. All right? That he might call them to the man, to Adam.
How you say two?
To Adam, low, low, low,
Low.
low. To, see that word low? To Ha-Adam, to the Adam. And then it says nephesh. What does nephesh mean? Soul. That's soul. Animals have souls. Animals have nephesh. That's what it says right there. Animals have nephesh. There was one old man one time. He was preaching, and I guess he's dead now. He's got to be preached till he was almost 100 years old. He preached over here at one of these churches in Bakersfield. Lee Cooster went there and got a set of tapes and videos, and he would, watch them, this old man. And he said so many people, when they study the Hebrew Old Testament, they just absolutely look over that animals don't have any souls. He said animals have souls. Animals are souls. They are individuals of life. That's what it means, individuals of life. Yes.
I'm kind of confused sometimes about this, but spirit's eternal, body's not. What's the soul?
Well,
Is it
our body
eternal?
will be. Soul is an individual of life.
Soul is
It's a
eternal?
living individual.
Eternal?
I don't know everything about it.
Yeah,
I don't know whether animals are eternal.
It doesn't say
I
they
don't
have
know.
a spirit, an eternal
But they
spirit.
are individuals of life. That's what nephesh means. They're individuals of life. Nephesh. Okay? Nephesh chaya. Chaya. Nephesh chaya. All right? Chaya means living. Living beings. Q. Shimo. All right? Shimo. His name. Every living individual has a name. And so Adam did what? He named all of these individuals, all right? Now let's go to the next verse, number 20, and we'll finish that one, and then we'll go on from there. All right? Vayikra. That's the first word, Vayikra. And then Ha-Adam. Shemot. Okay? And then Likhol. See that word Likhol there? That's on the second line down. Start from the right-hand side of the page. Likhol. Li means what? To, all, or every. All right? To call. Remember call up here? Call is every. And then when you have it look something like this in front of it, that means two. Two or four. All right? Simple as that. Two or four. Isn't it easier playing with Hebrew like this when you see words and sitting there doing this over and repeating it a million times? Couldn't stand doing that. I had about 3 years of grammar too. Slow down. Likol to all, and then it's ha bihemah. Say that. Ha bihemah. Ha bihemah. Okay, that means the four-legged. The four-legged beasts, all right? The four-legged. The ones that walks on legs. The four-legged. Ha, bihima, and then yuli'oth, and the birds. And to the birds is what it actually says. And, see that you there, or with, on the front of that? That means and then the lamet, that's to the birds. Orth. Yuli'oth, all right? And to the birds, the wing flappers. And where do they live? Hashemayim, in the heavens. Okay, Hashemayim. All right. Yulikol. Yulikol means what? And to every. And to every. Chayot. The wild animals. Those are the ones that don't live in pens. Okay? There was animals actually that God created to live very close to man and probably to help him. What animals could help a man?
Horse, dog,
cow,
anything.
Okay. Now, has animal ridden horses? I mean, has man ridden horses?
I was trying hard to think of
What? I'm thinking backwards.
it. God's right.
Hebrew, you get going that way. All right. Has man ridden a horse?
Yeah.
Has man ridden a cow?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oxen.
Sure they do. All right. Has man ever hooked a horse to a cart? Of course. A plow. A cultivator. Manure spreader. Whatever, you know. They do this. And how about dogs?
You heard?
Dogs. Did anybody ever use a dog for a beast of burden?
Yeah, and they herd animals.
They herd animals with them. What else What else dogs are in Lakota is shukok.
Protection. Watchdog.
Protection, watchdog, hunters.
Well, back this is when they didn't hunt other animals. Now this is
Yeah.
way back yonder.
They didn't need protection from anything, huh?
The wolf, the great buffalo wolf,
Companions.
Shukamiatsataka. That's my name, by the way, in Lakota. Shukok means dog. Okay, and Shukawakan, that means the big dog or holy dog. That was a special gift. Even the dogs are a gift from God, the Indians said, because they used them. They pulled their burdens. They put burdens on them. How about an Eskimos? Do they use dogs? They used to anyway. Now they got, what do you call them?
No.
Snowmobiles. But they used to have sled races. They still have sled races up there. Dogs are very important to man. That's an animal that will live close to man, and there's animals that live far away from man, like maybe a tiger, a lion, whatever, snake, Nahash. Remember this morning when we were talking about Nahash? Who caught that? Who brought that one up? Who?
Sister Andino.
Sister Andino, Nahash. All right. And called the man Vayikra Ha'adam Shemot names to all the four-legged and to the wing flappers of the heavens and to all of the wild animals, Hasadah of the field, of the prairie, where they lived out away from mankind now. Now remember, these are not wild like today. They're not going to hurt you or jump on you. They're not going to be like a wild mountain lion or whatever, or like a cheetah or whatever. But they are the ones that live out in the field, out in the prairie. And for Yule Adam, and for man, not lo matzah, not was found as their helper connector, corresponding to him. There was not a helper found corresponding to him. Okay. No helper found corresponding to him. Let's go one more verse and then we'll quit right there. Vayakhel Jehovah Elohim. 2:21. Vayetha Jehovah Elohim, and then Tar Demat Al Ha'adam Vayishan Vayikta Achat Mitzalato, and then Vayiskor Basar Taktina. All right, and to cause to fall Jehovah Elohim. He hypnotized. The word is hypnos. Hypnose in Greek is the word hypnose. What do you do when somebody's hypnotized? Do you know that they're hypnotizing people for them to be operated on now? They've been doing that for quite a while. That's exactly what God did to Adam. He hypnotized him. That's what it says here. He hypnotized him. All right? That word hypnotized. Tar Demat. He hypnotized upon Adam. Ha'adamah. Vayishan. And he slept. He kept on sleeping. And he took. Look at that word. And he took. Vayikach. And he took Achat, one. He took one from his sides, plural. Mitzalato. Mitzalato. He took from one of his sides. All right? And he closed by Yiskor, and he closed Basar, flesh, Taktene, instead of her. That's what it literally says. What do you think about that? He took from his sides, plural, each one of his sides. How many sides do you have?
2.
How many sides do you have?
And what shot? 4.
Huh?
4 are.
All right, let's look at a watch. Right now, here's a watch. This is a watch. All right? That watch has a face, doesn't it? Prosopone, face. And it's got a back.
Got 2 sides.
It's got a top and it's got a bottom. And it's got a side and it's got a side. Now, this watch is a adjusted watch. When they tested this watch to see if it would run right, they tested it in 6 positions. All right? Front, back, side, top, bottom.
There's 2 sides.
All right, 2 sides, front and back, sides, top and bottom. All right? From every part of Adam, from all of his sides, period, he took woman. And it says, and he clothed the flesh instead, basar, is what, say basar. Basar, all right? And what is it in Greek? What's the word for flesh? Sarx. All right? Latin. Carne. And Spanish, the same thing. All right? He took and he clothed the flesh instead of her. So he took from Adam, he took woman. Now, here we have Adam, and we take a woman. Now, what is the name for male in Hebrew? Man. What's the name for it? No. The name for, what is it? The name for a male. Adam was mankind. That was his name, man. We got Adam. That was who he was. That was his name. But what was he? I mean, he's male, okay? Male, he's man, is Ish. All right? And here we have Ish. Now, we have Ish. We have man. Right there like that. Ish. And now we take from man is Ishah. Okay? Ishah. Woman means out of man. If you go look at any dictionary and look up the word woman, it's going to say out of man. That's what it literally means. Woman, it means out of man. Woman. All right? From or out of man. Now God took woman out of man, and he made out of man woman. Okay? So now she is feminine man.
So she's
Feminine.
Isha.
Isha.
How do you write Ish in Hebrew? Isha.
Ish, basically, where I have it down there, sure. Ish, like that. All right, that's not exactly the way you write it, but that's Ish. All right, Ish, Ish, Ish. Ish means man. Isha means woman. Okay, out of man. So now he takes from his sides, all of his sides, from his top, from his bottom, from his front, from his back, and from his sides. How many sides is that? 6. When a very high-grade watch, it'll say adjusted 6 positions, hot and cold. Adjusted 6 positions, and then it'll say what?
I wanted to ask them, it didn't have to be a rib, it could be the
No,
side.
it's not. I'm getting into that.
Okay.
6 positions. Hot and cold. That's what it'll say on that watch. All right? 6 positions hot. Because man had 6 sides. Okay? He had 6 sides. He's got front, back, sides, top and bottom. Okay? Now, God took from Adam, he took woman. He took from Ish, he took Isha. Okay? Now, like I said earlier, how many eyes did Adam originally have?
2.
But did he take eyes from man? Did he? Yes, he did. Did he take hair from man? Did he take bone from man? Did he take blood from man? Flesh. And he clothes the fleshes instead the basar. Say basar. Fleshes, basar. The fleshes instead of her. He clothes the fleshes. I don't know what man looked like originally. We know what he looks like today because we look at ourselves and this is what Adam looked like. We come from him. And woman. All right? And God made man and woman so they would fit together perfectly. Okay? They do. They fit together. And that's what we're going to find out pretty soon. They fit together. We'll see that. They fit together. This is Jehovah took flesh, blood, bone, hair, all kinds of tissue, and every tissue he took out of Adam. He divided Adam. That's what he did. He divided Adam. And then he put them back together. He put mankind back together in marriage. Isn't that beautiful? He divided them and put them back together in marriage, and they would fit together. All right? They would fit together. And that's where we're going to go in the first marriage next week. This week we got the tree of death and the creation of woman. Boy, it wasn't that related. The tree of death and the creation of woman.
Tell Bill that Sunday.
Yeah, he goofed it. He messed up, didn't he? 12, 13, 09. That's when we finish. That's when we get started next week. Do you have any questions? Don't get scared of Hebrew. Don't be afraid of it. It will just get into your skin. Have you ever been around a skunk? Have you? When you walked away from that skunk, did you smell a little bit like him? In your clothes and everything else? Well, I want to tell you what, you can be exposed to Greek and Hebrew and you're going to smell just a little bit like him. It's going to rub off on you just a little bit. Okay? Is any of it rubbing off? What's Nahash? What's Nahash? The snake. How about Adam? Ish. Ish. Man. Isha. Woman. All right. Tall is all. And then if I put Elohim up there, you would probably be able to pick that out a little bit. And Ha'adam and Dom and all this stuff. You're getting a little of it, and you've only been here a little while. Are you picking up on some of it, Shirley?
Yeah, a little while.
Yeah. All right, Brother Mike. I know you're picking up more than what I thought you did. You're beginning to learn. And when you hear the words, when you hear names in the Bible, then you begin to realize what these names mean. Remember this morning when I told you what Mizpah meant? What did Mizpah mean?
Tower.
Huh?
Tower.
Mizpah. Come on, what did Mizpah mean? Mizpah.
Watchtower.
Watchtower. That's what means Mizpah. Watchtower. And when Jacob and his father-in-law, when they made that covenant, it said, let God watch over us, be our watchtower between us, that we keep our covenant. All right. Well, we'll get to 222 next week. We're going to talk about the first marriage. We're going to get Adam married next week. Okay? Is this pretty neat? Are you seeing things you didn't see before? There's some pretty good stuff in it. Pretty good stuff in here. It's not shallow. It's not shallow at all. It is deep stuff. All right. Who wants to dismiss us in prayer tonight? Just raise your hand up. Anybody? Nobody's raising their hand. You will? All right. Boy, that's what I like as volunteers. All right. Go ahead.
Our Heavenly Father, we just come to you to thank you for giving the knowledge to teach us and just hope that we can continue to learn